What's up, J Fusion fans, and welcome back to a superhero time review. Now, I haven't done this in quite a while. The last one I did was actually a review of Kira Major Episode 2, but now I'm back to doing superhero time with both Kamen Rider Zero One and Kira Major together. And before we continue on, I would just like to remind everyone that this video is not intended for viewers under the age of 13. So let's get started. Now, Kamen Rider Zero One. In this episode, what happens is Guy, with the help of a few politicians, is trying to campaign for the elimination of all Humagears, while Aruto, on the other hand, receives help from a Humagear rapper called Chekira for the protection of Humagears and campaigning that Humagears are friends, not enemies. So in this episode, Guy, we see him being as rotten as he can be. Now, it just enrages me just thinking about what happened in this episode. Now, if a character or a villain specifically makes you this angry, you know that he's done his job. So, props to Nachi Sakuragi for his acting and showing us that Guy is the dirtiest SOB out there right now. So, I'm still getting angry just thinking of it. But yes, that's how great of a villain Guy is, or rotten. I don't know. Which one do you prefer? which one do you think is appropriate for a villain like that? So, yeah. Now, in this episode, we also see a few twists and revelations regarding the AIM side of the spectrum. So, Isamu learns a bit more about how and why he can transform, and there is a secret behind it, which Yua tells him about, of course, by order of Guy himself. And we do see the return of Kamen Rider Horobi and why he is acting the way he is right now. We also see the debut of Yua's new power up, which is the Fighting Jackal Raider. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, she trades in her Rushing Cheetah Pro Raisuki for the Fighting Jackal Pro Raisuki, or was it a Zetsume Raisuki? I'm not sure which is which. It probably looks like a Zetsume Raisuki because of the more prominent black designs. Now, I noticed about the Fighting Jackal suit is that it takes a lot of inspiration from Egyptian art and mythology, particularly Anubis, because Anubis himself has a jackal head, which kind of makes sense if they took inspiration from Egyptian culture. And the Fighting Jackal does show Egyptian style themes. So that's how it looked like to me. And we also see some snippets and previews, like silhouettes of Isamu's next power up, which is the Rampage Vulcan. And we do see the creation of the Pro Raisuki for that in this episode, but it will debut next week. Now, that isn't much of a spoiler, but it's more of a preview. What I would like everyone to see in this episode is the interaction, between Guy and Aruto, and their ideals continue to clash and how it affects the story as of late, because it's really interesting to see, like I've said earlier, we see how Guy is the dirtiest SOB out there right now. So he's the most despicable villain as of late. And again, it will be revealed in more detail in future episodes. So I really recommend that you guys check it out and see it for yourselves once it's out there on the internet, especially with subtitles if you don't like Raws. But for this episode, because of Nachi Sakuragi's acting, because of Guy's character, I'd say because it moved me so emotionally in this episode. Like I was so filled with rage just seeing his despicable actions continue on like this. I'm actually giving this a 5 out of 5. Again, just because of this one character, this one villain being the meanest in his own way. He's the baddest villain in his own way. Like, he shows the audience how rotten humanity can be. Now, Humagears, okay, in this episode, we see that Humagears are the innocent ones, but because of human actions, they are influenced by what humans do. They learned the wrong, or they get the wrong ideas about humans, and this is what causes them to go berserk. That's what's been happening ever since Guy and Naruto started their rivalry. Ever since they started competing against one another. So this is where Guy brings out the worst in humanity, which is why I gave this episode a 5 out of 5. And Guy might just be one of the best villains out there. Much more so than the Arc, I'd say. So, for this episode, like I said, I gave it 5 out of 5. And now we're going into Kiramager. Now, Kiramager, so there's not much going on with the actual plot, but this is a Kirame Blue focus episode, and the Jamenshi, which is the monster of the week, so he is a clamp based monster, and Kirame Blue gets hit by the enemy's attack, which gives him a huge clamp on his head. Now, in this episode, the main point or the main plot is what happens after that. So after the monster attack, we see Shiguru's character break. So what we see with Shiguru is that he is the cool silent type, but in this episode he breaks character. We see what Shiguru truly is when nobody is looking. And a few things that I've noticed in this episode. So, because Shiguru is an actor, he works in a movie set. So, probably the people working on set are actually people who work with the Kiramager as a whole. So, it's kind of a fourth wall break for me. So, like, Shiguru is an actor, or rather, Atomu Mizuishi is an actor playing an actor, so it's a show within a show, I guess. Yeah, so it's kind of confusing if you think about it at first, but bear with me here. So, the other staff that are working in Shiguru's projects, like his movies, his dramas, his commercials, are actual production staff of Kiramager. There's no confirmation. I just think it's what happened, but if it is, it still makes a lot of sense. So you already have like your production crew working on show, and you have them work on a show within a show. So that's interesting. And like I've said, once Shiguru's character, is revealed, it actually gave me a lot of laughs. So, again, props to Atomu Mizuishi for his superb acting. And other than that, the main highlight of this episode is the debut of Kiramejin. So, again, it's Juru's imagination that gets us through this episode, but because of Kirame Blue, uh, it was hilariously amazing, and we do see some like interaction that kind of resembles Shinkenger, because here in this episode, Shiguru wears his samurai outfit because he is working on a samurai based drama. So he is seemingly a nobleman, so he is as dressed as Tono-sama. So it kind of reminded me of Takeru from Shinkenger, especially when uh, uh, I forgot. Oh, Ryunosuke, Ryunosuke, and sometimes Kotoha. So they refer to Takeru as Dono-sama. So he's Lord Takeru to them. So I do remember those kinds of scenes in this episode because Juru also calls Shiguru Dono-sama. But this is more in reference to Shiguru's role as a samurai in a drama. So he's not a samurai himself, no, not by any means. But yeah, so Kinamager episode, just because of Shiguru's acting, I'm giving it a 5.5. No, 5 out of 5. I gave it a 5.5 out of 5. No, it's 5 out of 5. So before recording this video, I actually checked out Twitter, and I don't know, I saw Atomu Mizuishi's tweet. There is a part in today's episode where Shiguru is kind of shooting a documentary, and then he says the lines at the end, "Henda yo ne," so which is strange, isn't it? So it kind of became a meme, and everybody has been commenting "Henda yo ne" on Atomu's Twitter. So it kind of I'm not sure if it's trending right now, but yeah, everybody's commenting "Henda yo ne" on his Twitter. So because of that meme moment, I actually would like to give 5 out of 5 for today's Kiramager. So yes, today's superhero time is actually perfect, at least in my opinion. I know there have been some minor things that probably make the show not perfect for everyone else watching, but like these 2 episodes that I've seen for both the Kiramager and Kamen Rider Zero One, just because one actor brought the whole episode, like they are the ones who have been focused. So like you're not focused on the main character, but you're focused on the other characters that are in the show, which means like, hey, we exist, we do something in this show, and not just the main character or not just the Red Ranger in the case of Super Sentai. So props to them for superb acting. They made the episodes perfect for me, at least, and I think even though it's not perfect for everyone, you'd still probably enjoy watching these episodes for today. So please do watch out when they're already uploaded, or if you could find subtitled episodes, maybe in a couple days, perhaps. So watch out for that, and I highly recommend watching them. So anyways, thank you for watching this video. Please do leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and hit that notification bell so you get the latest from JE Fusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you on the next Superhero Time review. Bye!